you mind if I interrupt you?
No.
I know with the Kindle, the question is, how do you deal with it when you really got more than one person reading from that device? Have you dealt with any of those issues?
We have. We have a concept called collections. So this was really generated more for, I think the original purpose was for students. They wanted to put in, all of their physics-related books or whatever into one collection of stuff, and all of their, English history books into another section. And this way they can have collections they can very quickly go into when they're thinking about that particular subject. We've heard about people using that same feature for multiple users. So for my kids' books, I'm going to toss them all into one. You can also sort by genre or type, but I'm going to toss them all into this one collection. Or for, which I need to actually do a lot because I get a lot of Harlequin and all kinds of interesting other books that my wife just shakes her head about what's on my phone. Hotly vetted, conveniently wedded, I think is the one.
But that's the one she understands,
No, she just shakes her head. But so that's kind of this concept of collections, and you can just create random collections, as many as you want, and it's a way of it's a bookshelf, essentially a bookshelf concept.
All this book management, the retitling and changing covers, is the desktop application capable of doing any of that, or does it have to all be to the iPhone?
The desktop application can do some of the stuff. The desktop is, we focused very quickly. The desktop was 5 years in the making from the time Mark first really thought about things. We focused very much on the iPhone once the iPhone kind of came out. It was, the numbers even reflect that, right? 1.8 million and I think 300,000 desktop tools. The other thing with the desktop is there's Adobe Digital Editions, there's Book Oven, there's all kinds of other stuff out there that allows you to read. At the time we launched the iPhone app, there really wasn't that much that let you do EPUBs.
I meant in order, like the way you use iTunes to retitle your songs that you then look at on your iPhone.
Yep.
If I have all these books I want to organize, it's kind of time consuming to do it on my iPhone. So is the desktop a way to sort of do it at your keyboard, or is that not really how it works?
You can, though it's been fairly buggy as far as, that's one I know is fairly buggy as far as getting those things that you converted to show up on your iPhone. It depends on how you get them there. If you get it off of a server off of your desktop, it works. If you do the sharing through Bonjour, it's flakier, is probably the best way to describe it.
Has there been any talk about integrating Stanza into the actual iTunes app, like as an organizational tool?
We would love for that to happen, but that is that's an Apple decision as far as how it goes. And I think right now, if I was Apple, which I'm not, this is wonderful, right? You get all these vendors beating each other up and building really, really good apps really quickly. And I think that landscape of the competitive landscape has been wonderful in causing, people to produce even better and better ebook readers and games and everything. I'm not sure Apple's going to do that, right? I mean, Apple knows how much pain they went through dealing with record labels, right? And record labels at least are used to a little bit of change, right? They went to 8-track to cassette to album to CD to digital. Publishers, I mean, it's hardback, paperback, digital, right? I mean, paperback came out 60 years ago. The change is a lot greater, I think, in publishing, and we'll see. I mean, I think we're going to find out at WWDC in June kind of what Apple's thinking if they do release the media pack. But I honestly would be surprised if Apple goes down that route. But we'll see.
How do you,
it's pure speculation, just to be very clear.
What's your guess in turn, not guess, but how do you think the recent acquisition of Amazon will affect your plans? Or Amazon recently acquired Lexcycle, Stanza, in case you catch that.
Kind of publicly, we've said it's business as usual. We're a standalone entity within Amazon. We are going to be moving to Seattle, so that would probably hint at something to you guys. But right now we are being left alone and operated as a standalone entity. I think I don't see any changes. You're going to still be able to read EPUB. You still can buy books from the FictionWise store. So a lot of the things I think people were expecting to see kind of happen, pretty quickly haven't. So no, it's At least right now, it's business as usual. I'm not naive enough to think that that's going to continue forever, but at least right now, that's the case. And Amazon has a history of, there's 2 or 3 audiobook companies that are within the umbrella of Amazon. So, Audible as well as I can't remember the other one. But, there's a history there of that happening. So, honestly, we don't know. And of course, the right answer I'm supposed to say, given I'm in New York, is that we don't speculate about the future. So, go for it.
Just, I know you can't speculate, but as far as features, I mean, I noticed about a week after they bought you, they borrowed some of your features, like tap to move to the next page and things like that, and white on black. Are we going to get more? Because your feature set is vastly superior to the Kindle on iPhone.
Oh, thank you.
So, because I thought maybe that was why they bought you, was just basically pillage you for features. Is that going to happen?
You know what? Anyone can pillage us for features, though. It's not like, we wrote a functional spec, arguably, with Stanza. So it's not just the Kindle app that's doing it. I think we saw a bunch of other apps add pagination that used to only have scrolling. Almost every ebook reader that I had on there for the iPhone now has the night theme set up. So I don't think, and all of that said, I think we're looking at other folks as well to kind of improve the features that we have. So I think you can probably assume, given how long Apple takes to approve applications, that we weren't involved at all in the 1.1 release. But I think you're going to see that. I think you're going to see everyone's looking, because we were early and we kind of made a big name for ourselves. I think a lot of people have looked at what Stanza's done and it's in there borrowing some of those features. It's, take a look at Eucalyptus. It looks really, really cool. People thought Classics was a really cool page turning, really cool kind of UI. Eucalyptus has a really cool UI, probably a better UI, which I think a lot of people didn't think was possible. So I think you're going to see this happen over and over again. That good ideas are going to be, like in every space, good ideas are going to be borrowed and taken advantage of. Just because we're within Amazon, I don't think necessarily means that it's going to be more so with Kindle. I think you're going to see this across the board.
Do you think that ebooks will consolidate into an ebook format, or do you think Amazon will continue to sell it by
Again, this is pure speculation.
Yeah.
I think it's going to, I think the industry is going to kind of decide this. There's some talk about the UK publishers, for example, kind of saying, you know what, we're going to do EPUB and EPUB only. Hachette's made that move, I believe. Random House has both made that move, whereas I think Random House 4 months ago used to produce 5 different formats of ebooks. And today, from what I understand, they only produce EPUB. And they've pushed the conversion problem downstream. So businesses are going to look for ways to lock in their users in any scenario. Until I think you're going to see 2 or 3 dominant formats. And PDF will be one of them because it still is dominant. So PDF will definitely be one of them.
But in terms of reflowing formats,
I think EPUB's going to be there. Fiction-Wise made an announcement that they now have 20,000 EPUB books. Right. So that just to give you an idea of kind of, lots and lots of people are saying they are going to support EPUB. But you also have to pay attention to the level of support they have. Some of it's considered EPUB support if you can take EPUB as an input and convert it to whatever your proprietary format. That also is considered EPUB support. So it depends on your kind of definition there. But I think we'll see. I think, put it this way, we are still so early.
yeah.
There's no answers yet. I think EPUB is a good start, but I think there's some other formats that are also very, very good starts, and I think you have huge vendors backing those formats.